Hi everyone, your real estate expert Lance Moore, and we're talking about how to buy a house. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most asked about subjects I get in real estate, or probably any agent gets for that matter, and that's how to buy a house with no money down. So let's talk a little bit about how to buy a house with no money down or very little down. So first, let me go over different loan programs to give you an idea of the options. Now, keep in mind, different places in the country work a little different, so check out with your real estate agent, or probably even better, your lender, what options are available. So let's start off with the government loans. Everybody's heard of an FHA loan, which is a department in HUD, the Housing and Urban Development. FHA stands for Federal Housing Administration, which they're insuring the loan in case of default. The second one is VA. Now, if you've been a veteran or have VA eligibility, you've been in the reserves, then you could get a VA loan. So we'll start off with FHA. It's probably the most popular. FHA is a formula, but it's about 3.5% down. That's the down payment for FHA. And then you have the closing cost. And again, this could vary on a lot of different factors. One could be the state that you're located in. Some states have a little bit less closing costs. Some states have a little bit more closing cost. But it really depends. It also depends on the loan amount as well. But let's just say the closing costs are around 4%. Now, with FHA loan program, you could actually get into a home for nothing, because FHA will allow you to get the down payment and the closing cost as a gift from a relative. So you could get both that, or maybe you just want to get the down payment as a gift, or one or both, and you could get the closing cost. You could get the seller to pay the closing cost. So that's an option. Now, there's obviously more options your lender's going to go over with you, depending if you have 401ks and IRAs and different stuff like this. So definitely get with the lender. Talk to them about these. The second one is VA. VA probably hands down for no down payment and even no closing cost is certainly one of the better options out there. So if you're a veteran or been in the reserves and you have the eligibility, because VA actually has a no down payment program. So there's no down payment, and then you have your closing cost. But again, you could get that money from a 401k, you could get it from a gift from a relative, you could ask the seller to pay the closing cost. So there's a lot of different avenues that you could go in that. Another one is when most people talk Fannie Mae, you have Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, but most lending institutions use a conventional loan, and it's generally just underwritten under Fannie Mae. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, Fannie Mae does have a 5% down and a 3% down program in most cases, and you could get into this with your lender because it all depends on your particular case. But in most cases, you don't want to go with the 3% because it's just going to be higher interest rate, much higher mortgage insurance premium, etc. But they have a 5%. And you could even get that money, and the 3% for that matter, you could even get that money as a gift from a relative. And then you have the closing costs, you could have the seller pay that. Now, in our area, in the Tampa Bay area, we have something called, and they have it throughout the country, but it really depends where you're located, called the USDA. This is more for the rural areas, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're really, really rural, very far away. We have it in some of our outlying cities, and you could go to their website, type in address, and then it will tell you if you're eligible or not. So you could just type in USDA eligibility, read a little bit about that, but it's 100% financing program, and they have it throughout the country. It's just do they have it where you're at, is the question. So it's 100% financing, and then you could have the seller, pay for your closing cost if you want. Now, what I'm also doing is I'm going to be attaching a couple different links below the video, and it's going to take you to websites where you could get down payment assistance. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of down payment assistance programs, probably thousands across the U.S., and most people don't know anything about them. And the problem is a lot of people don't even know where to start. And you have to be careful, and you have to do a little bit of your own research, because a lot of times if you call a banking institution and they don't work with down payment assistance, and you ask them about it, they're probably not going to say, oh, it exists, you need to go to this bank over here. They're just going to say, no, we don't have it. And it's the same thing with brokerages as well. Most brokerages do not work on the down payment assistance program. Most of them are the big bank institutions like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, Citi, Regions, different ones like that around the country. So definitely check it out. Now, again, when you're using a bank, my recommendation, if you are using a bank, a big banking institution, always try to use a loan officer that's local, because it's the whole thing, out of sight, out of mind. So use a loan officer who's local, and of course, always try to use a real estate agent that knows what they're doing. Make sure you interview your real estate agents, but that's the basics on the different loan programs and how they work as an overview. Again, everybody's situation's a little bit different, but I'm going to put some links below the video that you could go to if you're in Florida or in other parts of the country, and you could see what works for you. You'll enter your information in there, nothing personal, nothing's going to spam you or do anything. It's just some of these programs, they need to calculate how many people are in how many people do you have in the household, what income do you make, because a lot of them are related to income. I mean, if you're making $180,000 a year, you're hardly going to find a down payment assistance program. So it's really going to depend on a bunch of different factors. So answer them. If you have any questions at all, reach out, leave a comment. If you like this, or if you have any questions, if you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I wish you the best of luck. All right, have a great day, and best of luck in your home buying process.